really looking forward to this visit. It's going to be really interesting, and I'm really pleased that I can do this and take you guys along with me. Hope you enjoy it. Hope you enjoy hearing about these new Bibles that are coming out. Hope you enjoy hearing some of the answers to some of your questions that you kindly put in the comment section of my videos. I have recorded them all, I believe. I've got them on my phone, so we'll be going through some of those. Time permitting, that bit may not be filmed, but I will certainly get the answers anyway and do a piece back in the office to let you guys know what was said about those questions. Just a little word about the about the interviews and whatnot that's going to be happening later today. We are going to be in the shop on Trinity Street in Cambridge, which I believe is the oldest book-selling site in the UK. So there's a very strong and very long tradition of bookselling there on Trinity Street, Cambridge. Obviously, you're surrounded in Cambridge by the university buildings, which are quite grand, very nice. Take some footage and some photos, hopefully, of those nice buildings. But you're surrounded by a lot of history and a lot of heritage, and of course Cambridge University Press have a lot of history with Bible publishing. They're the world's oldest Bible publisher, so we'll probably hear a little bit of the history, certainly some highlights of the history from Amanda Taylor at Cambridge, who will be there. Just to let you know about some things coming up for the channel. I am going to be doing some giveaways very soon. I am happy with the system that I'm going to be using for that now, so I'm going to be launching one, I think, on Sunday, so watch out. I'll probably do a little release video for it, and there'll be a link to the competition, so look for that. We're going to be giving away, I think I'm going to be giving away a Cambridge Bible, a TBS Bible, and maybe something else. Maybe have three prizes, so look out for that on the channel, and please do try and support us and take part in that, and spread the word about that. That would be great. There is something coming up in October as well, which is quite cool. I'll be going to the Christian Resources exhibition in October, so I'm going to be doing a similar trip to this. Even further though, this is going to be a nasty trip down south to, I think it's past London even, so I'm going to be dicing with some difficult traffic, probably, no doubt. Hopefully fuel will be a bit easier to come by then. Yeah, that'll be really cool, and we're going to be doing a bit of a sit down and a chat with the Bible Society about their new release coming up, the Family Bible. So really looking forward to sitting down with the guys at the Bible Society and talking to them about that one. So there's some good stuff coming up, and I'm probably going to be planning a couple of other trips similar to this, just where we go out with a camera and see if we can talk to some people about Bibles. So do stay tuned, and yeah, we appreciate it, and we will catch up very, very soon, hopefully when we hit Cambridge. Driving back now from Cambridge on the M1, travelling north back home to the Midlands, and what a day it's been. Probably spent about 5 hours with Cambridge in the end nearly, and it was really great to see Amanda and Abigail again and to talk about so many different things. I don't think I'm going to be able to put all of it into some footage, into a video, but certainly do our best. But we went over a broad range of subjects, and it really was a fascinating conversation. Obviously some new stuff that was covered, and some old stuff that was covered as well, and all of it was fascinating to me anyway. There was one revelation which I can't say too much about at the moment, but it really made my day, so I came away really really pleased with some of the conversations that we had. So I hope you find it fascinating and interesting too. As I said in my intro, really, I'm probably going to be chopping this up into different sections and different subjects, so hopefully there'll be something that you can find that's of interest to you. So yeah, signing off for now. Probably about half an hour, 40 minutes from home. Quite tired, but well worth the trip down. Okay guys, so we're back now at the Burton Bible's office, having had a very long but very productive and very interesting day in Cambridge. I've got a lot of footage to sort out and to edit, and so I just thought I'd put this section in here to address a lot of the questions, the subscriber questions, and some of my own questions that I had for Cambridge on that visit. When I got down there and we spoke about some of these questions, I realised it was going to be quite difficult to actually do these questions live on camera, because, you know, people like to be prepared for their answers. And also, I realised that we were going to be touching on a lot of different subjects in and out of conversation, so it was going to be very hard to kind of edit a long section of meaningful footage. So what I thought I would do, and what I agreed with the team at Cambridge, was that I would collect their answers and produce this sort of one-to-one to the camera. I just thought that would be a lot more easier. So without further ado, let's just have a look at some of these questions that you very kindly submitted to me. One of the questions was more from myself, really, which was why certain Bibles get retired, why certain Bibles leave the range and become out of print. In particular, you know, I was thinking about the Sapphire, which I featured recently on the channel, just a beautiful KJV reference Bible, but also in the past on the channel we've featured the Compact CR and the Royal Brevier Text, the Brevier Text Bible, sorry, which again, just fantastic, tiny little, less than hand-sized Bibles that were really quite legible as well. And of course, there's my own personal favourite, my Cameo Wide Margin, which I'm looking round for now and can't see. So yeah, there's a lot of Bibles that were well loved but have gone. And the reality of that was, according to Cambridge, was just that their Bible range evolves all the time. It must evolve. And certain editions are going to fall out of favour, and to free up time and resources to develop new products, to embrace new opportunities, and to try and bring something to the market that will appeal to a new generation, new demographics, changing tastes. Obviously, Cambridge have been publishing Bibles for hundreds of years in this country, so they can't all stay as they were. That range needs to evolve and develop, and that was the long and short of it, really. So a lot of the Bibles, things like the Wide Margin Cameo, was ultimately replaced by the Concorde Wide Margin, which was a more popular edition and a more just seemingly a more flexible edition to work with. Things like the Sapphire and the Compact CR and things like that, small reference Bibles would have been replaced by things like the Pocket Reference, things like the Pit Minion and the Cameo and the Personal Concorde, all hand-sized sort of reference Bibles. So there's still something for most people and most tastes seemingly in the range. We also touched on the Thompson chain reference that was briefly published by Cambridge in the 90s, I think, and I was intrigued as to how that came about and why it was never kind of revisited. And the reality of it was, which the clue to which is on the inside of the cover, you'll see that it is printed by Eyre and Spottiswoode, who were Her Majesty's printers at one stage, and I think they either got sold or they went into administration or receivership, and Cambridge agreed to publish their range of Bibles that they were dealing with at that time. So it was kind of a limited time thing. It wasn't tremendously popular, so it just didn't get renewed, and that happens in publishing. And again, as we've mentioned already, the range must evolve and develop, and at the end of the day, that wasn't a direction that they wanted to go in. We did speak about a few other questions that you guys raised. For example, we mentioned about the text Bible, the large print text Bible. Why isn't this sort of printed by Roy Youngblood in a sort of a luxury binding, a nice goatskin binding? And the reality of it is that this Bible sits very nicely in the as one of the products that Lego produce for Cambridge. It is available in a French Morocco leather, which is what this is. There's that beautiful clear print. If anybody's ever looking for a nice legible KJV text Bible, I always point them in the direction of the large print text Bible from Cambridge. And it's a beautiful thing. Let's have a look. Do you think that the new Kjv Topaz will take sales from the Turquoise? The answer to that was no, just simply because, for example, here we have the Kjv Turquoise and the ESV Topaz. These are basically two different products that will suit two different types of people. Basically, if you want a modern typeface, digital typeface, with a nice sort of modern fresh look, then we want a Topaz. If you like your more traditional Bibles, more sort of old-fashioned but sort of legacy looking Bibles, then you're going to prefer the Turquoise. They're both large prints, but some people might like both as well. I certainly like both. So we didn't really speak about the Kjv Topaz much. It is obviously still in the offing. I think it was initially slated for December. We'll certainly make firmer news from Cambridge as it becomes available. Yeah, they're not too worried about that being an issue, because there's plenty of room for those two Bibles in their range. Why is there no premium New Testament? So I think they used to do a premium New Testament, Cambridge, but the reality was, as they explained to me, was the price and the cost to produce a New Testament over a whole Bible is actually negligible. Now, obviously, there's always going to be niche gaps and niche markets of people that want New Testaments, but the reality is that they just don't. There's just no sort of justification to do that. Now, they do New Testaments. They do this is the Revised English Bible New Testament, which was released just a year or two ago in a really nice imitation green leather, which is beautiful. And they also do the New Revised Standard Version in a sort of more slim breast pocket style format, which you can get in addition to that. So that was the story on that one. Why has there been no further development of the New Paragraph Bible? Excuse me. So I asked Cambridge about that, and apparently it's still quite a popular Bible for them. I have a hardback edition and also the calfskin edition. You can get this Bible with the Apocrypha as well, so it's one of the few Bibles that you can get with the Apocrypha. Apparently it was re-jacketed very recently, so this is the new jacket for the hardback. Got a nice piece of artwork here. I think that's King's College, yeah, King's College Chapel, Cambridge. This is one of the Bibles that I did a review of on hardbacks that has a lovely sort of marbled, if you take the jacket off, it's got this marbled hardback, which I really quite like. And if you look at the spine, if I sort of bring it behind there, it's really quite nice. So it has been rejacketed. It isn't languishing. It's an edited version of the KJV, which is still reasonably popular, and it has had a new jacket. So it has been it has had some attention recently, shall we say. The Transetto, that was one of the questions. Again, are there any plans to revisit the Transetto and sort of redevelop it? I think Thomas Nelson have recently released a flip back style, which is the same as the Transetto, a flip back style New Testament. This is the Transetto. As you can see, it's very diddy. There we go. It is a flip back Bible, so it's the entire Bible, and it's produced in this sort of format. Printed and bound by Youngblood in the Netherlands. It's just a fantastic little thing. Really quite cool. You can just literally hold it in one hand and read the text down the page across the binding. Really cool little hinged kind of cover binding there. These are like 10 quid, I think, from Cambridge. So fantastic price point, and I think they're happy with that. They're reasonably popular. They still sell. They do the different colours, the purple, red and blue and all that sort of thing. So quite easy to add one of them to your collection and take that around with you in a pocket or something like that. Are there any plans for an enlargement of the Concorde? Oh, here's the Concorde here. And I found my wide margin cameo. Yay! So yeah, the Concorde, no plans for an enlargement. This is a really nice size as it is, and the reality is if you want a larger print, sort of legacy KJV style, then you're going to go for a Turquoise probably, which is a bigger Bible again. So that was the answer for that. And also, are there any plans for enlarging the font size in the wide margin editions? So I think this question was more aimed at the ESV, NKJV, NIV, ESV, those wide margin editions. Are there any plans to enlarge that? Now obviously there is an enlargement of the Pit Minion, which that's based on, and that is the diadem. I have a diadem here which I'll be doing a deep dive review on, so yay. Yeah, there's no plans to enlarge the wide margin. The wide margin is a really big edition, and I think if you enlarge that font you'd probably make it even bigger, and it might not sell as well. So the reality is that the font size is going to stay as it is, as far as I'm aware. And that's all I have to say, really. There was a couple of interesting things, little bits of trivia which came out of my conversations with Cambridge, which I'll share with you, and that is the best-selling in terms of value product that they do. I wonder if you guys would know the answer to that question. That's the best-selling in terms of value. So what turns over the most money for them? The answer was quite surprising to me on that one. And the answer was the Cameo, which is a favourite of mine. But in particular, the Cameo with Apocrypha is one of their best-selling line. Is their best-selling line in terms of value. So I thought that was interesting. And also their best-selling product in terms of units. So this is units sold, not value. And the answer to that was the Kjv Apocrypha. So this is the ESV Apocrypha, which was released earlier this year. They do a KJV version, which is like a red hardback bound version, and that is their highest selling in terms of units. So obviously a lot of people want to check that out and have that on their shelf, and that's their highest selling in terms of units, which again quite surprising, but nevertheless thought those two little bits of trivia might be interesting to share with you guys. So all in all, lots of questions, a lot learned from it, and I really enjoyed my time with Cambridge. There'll be more videos coming soon, where we'll be looking at some of their upcoming editions. I'm going to show you that in the video, and we're going to do a deep dive on the diadem. We're also going to talk in a bit more detail about the Family Chronicle Bible, which is a new edition coming up from Cambridge, and we'll also speak about a few other bits and bobs as well. In particular, I think I mentioned earlier there was a piece of news which I found which really brought a cheer to my heart, and more news about that soon. So I hope that's been of some interest to you, something for everybody there, hopefully. Take care, God bless, and we'll catch up on another video soon. Bye bye.